How he's going? I'm Timo, this is Timo's Race Cars. We're back into the mule Valiant today. With 904 transmission rebuilt, or loosely rebuilt, not exactly rebuilt. New clutches, new seals. I surfaced the drums just with emery cloth. Pressed in some new bushes. Got the standard converter just there, clean it out, put more than a gallon of bloody kerosene through it. So it's clean, at least the car runs out of it clear now. So I'm going to put that in the 904 in the old test mule because I've got to get it registered, so I need a basic transmission. I mean, it is just a basic 904, nothing special. It's standard rebuild with the blocker rod in the accumulator and a 5.0 band on the high band. Sorry, a 5.0 lever on the high band. Other than that, standard throttle body, valve body, and I've got a low car kickdown cable for it rather than the kickdown linkage. I mean, I don't own a kickdown linkage for it, so I just bought the cable to replace it. So yeah, we'll throw the tranny in the car. I've got a couple of things to do before that. Where the floor pans had been replaced, all the welds underneath are still raw. They've never been painted, so I'll paint the underside of the floor, throw the transmission in, and start to muck around with the engine. Get the 318, the Bumblebee 318, get a carburetor on it and get a few things started and get some progress happening. Press film. So yeah, change of plans. This was going to be the just a general update video. Now it's going to be specifically, I think, general update video is just going to be boring. So I don't want to bore you boys with my randomness. What I'll do is I'll just focus on throttle cable, kickdown cable, and the oil filter mount. So the 3 Timo specials for the price of one. We'll get in and I'll show you what I'm up to. So here's a little progress, starting to get things sorted out. It's RPC, not low car. I said low car earlier, but it's this kickdown cable's cheap China one, but it's going to do us. That's the beginning of what I'm going to do with this. That's the RPC cable, just stuck into the, these just come with these generic, this is the one that comes with it. This is the one that I modify on my other cars. I've modified that to suit, put the Chrysler cable here and then just attach it there. So it's easy enough. Drill 2 holes and tap one of them. It's pretty straightforward. But found an exhaust manifold. Not sure if that's what I'm gonna do. Just play it by ear. Found the found an original transmission dipstick tube, and it looks like it's going to drop in nicely. It looks, you know, looks like that'll work. Got a new steering coupler, so I'll get the new steering coupler on, and then I can get the column in. Because I got the pedal box, and you can see studs there. I got the pedal box back in it. Started screwing the dash back in. So that's, yeah, I mean, that's that. Starting to get a few things ticked off. I might muck around with the oil filter. So oil lines are coming up from, you know, right hand side of the block. I've got this to go in. So I've marked out the rail. I couldn't just set it where I want it and mark it. I actually had to make a template because you can't get a marker in, you know. Yeah, so I had to mark one hole, make a template, mark the rest of the holes. Now I'll give it a drill. Probably knock them in a bit and then run a self tapper through. I've always found that the best. The rail's, you know, not that thick, so if I'm going to screw a bolt straight into it, and say if I was just going to tap it, not really enough meat. So I'll show you what I'm going to do anyway. So I want to swage the holes. These are 3/16. I've got this marked at 1/4 inch. So I'm going to swage the holes out a little bit. Made this punch in high school. There's my name stamped on it. But put this in here. Knock the hole in a bit. All right, beautiful. Now they sort of flared out that bit on the inside, so there's more material going to actually hang on when I push the thread through. So that's the way I've always done it. That's the way I'm going to keep doing it. All right. Next up, I got this bolt. See the dome on the thread? I've seen a heap of these come out of the battery tray of Aussie A-bodies. I don't know. It seems like a standard bolt. I've seen them on multiple cars, but I don't know what the purpose is. But I've always used them to gouge threads through where I need to put them through. So let me see here. Probably asking yourself, why doesn't he just use a tap? Because of the dome on this thread, this will actually, rather than cutting the thread so much, it'll just force it through and distort the metal rather than cutting metal away.
Right. You'd be glad to know that I had to do all of that over again. Didn't dummy it up with the radiator in, of course, and that's what happens. But here's the acid test. Does the filter go on? So what I've got here is one that I'm happy to throw on like so. Well, if it's going to play. Oh, come on, darling. Fine. Let's do all the things you want to do. All right. Alright, so thinking something like that, then another 90 to adapt that one, because right now that looks rubbish. And if you could see, the header's going to be here, so that's got to be tucked down, heat shielded and zip tied away. Alright, back into the throttle cable kickdown setup. So I've mucked around with some of the plug wires. Some of these are 90s and some of them are 180s, so I just had to swap some. Oh, that's good. Had to swap some around so that I've got a nice clear passage through here for the accelerator cable. What I do need to do now. Right. So next, let's modify this. All right, so just drilled a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, drilled just until it's about to poke through. I probably could actually drill a little deeper than that. But now this is just an aftermarket reproduction of the factory Chrysler throttle bracket. And now I've got that marked, the center line of that marked. So now swing that around, eyeball it to where it's pretty decent. Mark it through there. Again, just by eye. I mean, it's not really, well, yeah, again, look at that. Just doing it by eye. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty though. That's the thing. So now I'll drill that and tap it. What I do with these, I mean, any of them, so double check that I got it nice and straight. Spin a nut down on it. And if you need to, before you get in too deep, you can correct it, you know. But anyway, looks like I got it nice and straight, so let's keep going. So that's what we end up with. Factory type Chrysler cable just clamps in there. Here's one I prepared earlier. This is, where are we? I don't know if you can read that. Factory V8 one. And wait a second. Easy peasy. And now the thing with that is the alignment goes straight on. There's no adapter required. Hold on a second, I'll show you what I mean. So normally you need some adapter that comes off of here, but now that goes straight on there the little clevis pin. As long as you kick that stupid forward kick down out of the way, that can go away. And then an R-clip. And we're away. Obviously need to put the bolt in that. But that's how I've been doing it for a few years now. Partly because you know, you can't buy anything for Mopar, especially in Australia. But you know, even that throttle adapter would have to be cut and modified to use one of these throttle brackets. So yeah, that's what I do on it, and that's the way I've been doing it for a few years now. So all right, so that's that finished off. Just turn that around to take a bit of slack out of the cable. I still got to adjust it. I haven't touched adjustment yet, but yeah, this is the finished product on this one. I mean, I've still got to pull it apart and lube the cables, but this is finished product on that. The only thing I've got to do is these return springs are always way too stiff, and you end up with I don't know, like a brick for a throttle. So I'll get rid of these springs and throw the rest of this kit on. So there she is. Always run Hollies in the past, and I'm noticing, or what I've found, is that this is so skinny, just found that there was nothing I could do to get this to clamp properly. It'd either hold it, the bolt would either hold it, clamp to it, or it had so much side play, you know. Obviously swap that around. On a Holly, you'd have that little washer around the other way. And yeah, anyway, long story short, it didn't work. And I've actually found that this doesn't give full throttle when you're flat to the floor either, so might be a quick fuels thing, might be this cable, I don't know. This is a new cable. Maybe all the old cables I've been using are stretched and they work a bit different, but anyway, long story short, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments, but that's the crux of it. That's the Timo Special throttle cable bracket. That's how I do it. That's how I've been doing it for a while, and hopefully you get something out of this, and yeah, see you boys again soon.